Venice, a city unlike any other. Built on water, it seems to float effortlessly, a masterpiece of art and architecture. But beneath the beauty lies a hidden secret, a marvel of human ingenuity and resilience that has allowed this city to defy time and nature for over 1,500 years. How is it possible that an entire city stands on water supported not by stone or concrete, but by wood? This is the story of how Venice was born from desperation and crafted through sheer human will, a city built not just on water, but on resilience. Venice's story begins in the 5th century, a time of chaos and invasion. As the Roman Empire collapsed, barbarian tribes swept through Europe, leaving devastation in their path. The people of northern Italy, fearing for their lives, fled toward the Adriatic Sea to a place no one had ever considered suitable for a city. The Venetian lagoon was little more than a stretch of shallow, marshy water. Mud, silt, and salt water created an unstable and unwelcoming terrain. But the refugees had no choice. They either adapted or disappeared. While the rest of the world doubted their survival, the Venetians dared to create the impossible. They turned to the one resource they had: wood. What happened next defied the laws of nature and science. The Venetians devised a revolutionary plan, driving thousands of long, sturdy wooden pilings deep into the soft clay and mud beneath the lagoon. These pilings, cut from the forests of Slovenia and Croatia, were driven vertically into the ground, creating a dense network of wooden columns. But wood rots in water, so how did Venice survive for over 1,000 years? The secret lay in the lagoon itself. Underwater, the wood was deprived of oxygen, which meant bacteria and fungi couldn't survive to cause rot. Over time, the wood calcified, essentially turning into a hardened, stone-like structure. This wooden forest beneath the city became the foundation upon which Venice's greatest architectural masterpieces would rise. Layered above the pilings were wooden platforms, and on top of those stone buildings, palaces and cathedrals. The entire city, from the elegant arches of the Doge's palace to the towering domes of St. Mark's Basilica, stood upon this hidden wooden framework beneath the water. By the 11th century, Venice had become one of the most powerful maritime republics in the world. Its strategic location between Europe and the East made it a center for trade, art, and culture. Venice controlled trade routes across the Mediterranean, exporting glass, silk, and spices to the rest of Europe. Its growing wealth was reflected in the grandeur of its architecture. But Venice was more than just a trading empire. It became a symbol of human creativity and ambition. The city pioneered financial markets, and its shipyards could produce a warship in less than a day. Venice became the birthplace of artistic masters like Titian and Vivaldi, whose works continue to influence the world today. From a city of refugees, Venice had risen to rule the seas. But beneath the success and beauty lay a growing problem. The very foundations that had made Venice possible were slowly sinking. The wooden pilings were driving deeper into the soft lagoon floor. On top of that, rising sea levels and increased flooding threatened the city's survival. In 1966, disaster struck. A catastrophic flood left much of Venice underwater. Saltwater crept into the foundations of historic buildings, causing walls to crumble and frescoes to fade. For the first time, the survival of Venice seemed uncertain. Could the city that had endured for over a millennium finally fall to the forces of nature? In response, Venice launched a series of massive engineering projects, the most ambitious being the Mose Project. A system of giant underwater barriers was designed to rise and block high tides, protecting the city from floods. But the battle against nature is ongoing. Rising global sea levels and shifting foundations mean that Venice's future remains fragile. The question now is not whether Venice can survive the next century, but how long the city's wooden heart can continue to hold. Yet, even as the tides rise, Venice endures. Its canals remain vibrant with life, art, and culture. Gondolas still glide through narrow waterways, carrying tourists beneath bridges that have stood for centuries. The city's foundations, driven deep into the earth centuries ago, remain strong. Venice stands as a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. It's a city of contradictions, fragile yet unyielding. Built on wood, shaped by water, and held together by the sheer will of its people. Venice may seem delicate, but beneath the surface lies a strength forged through centuries of struggle and triumph. A strength that continues to hold the city afloat even against the rising tide of time.